Welcome to round 4 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of August 31st. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Holeko.
Hello.
And Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
As moms of teens and young adults, we've survived those little kid days, yet we're still rethinking the decisions we've made all through our kids' lives and worrying about what's going on right now. Today's Thursday, which means it's time to give in to our obsessing. And today we're obsessing about our kids' emotional health during this crazy time. What day are we not obsessing about our kids' emotional health during this crazy time? But today it was inspired by a recent article in the New York Times that was talking about teens' mental health needs as school is restarting. And these included safe ways to see their friends, time with other adults, reliable routines, and warmth and support at home. Well, we are always all about the warmth and support, are we not?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Certainly. Sure. Anybody who's listened to this knows how warm and supportive we are. Where do I get my warmth and support? Can I sign up for that someplace? Can we rewrite this article, what moms need at this difficult time?
Yeah, that's going to be our topic next week.
I do not personally have teens in my home at this time. Do you see these as needs for your personal teens, and how are you going about arranging for that? Or are they getting that themselves? Are teens doing it for themselves right now? Catherine, you have the maximum teen quotient at the moment.
That's right. I thought these made a lot of sense. You know, like I really think that the thing about time with other adults is valuable for my kids. You know, coaches, teachers, friends, parents, whatever it is. You know, one of the big things about going back to school for my child is, or what I think is important, I don't know if he does, but, you know, just being able to get back into some of the activities that he participated in. And that ticks off safe ways to see friends, which was on this list, and also time with other adults. And just, you know, doing something that isn't playing a video game on the computer.
Yes.
You know, I do think I really value the time that he gets with teachers and coaches who I think are meaningful. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'm really glad that he's able to at least tiptoe back into that right now. I mean, things are very different.
And I mean, is that stuff still going to go on?
Well, like for my kid, you know, he's been involved in the musical, and they kind of revamped the whole thing. I mean, they changed the show that they were going to do because, well, first they switched it from the fall to the spring. And they changed to a show that will allow them to show it via video if necessary, if they can't allow for a live audience. The original show that they were going to do, they would not have the rights to be able to do that. But the new show will allow that. And it's a little bit of a simpler show in terms of staging and choreography and things. So they are learning it now in the late summer and early fall. And then they are going to sort of just have touch-ups and review from fall through spring, and then perform it in the spring. So, you know, the nice thing is that he's able to do it. It's just, it's different, and it's cut back in a way. And similarly with the show choir that he's involved in, there will not be any competitions, which is the main reason why the kids want to do it. So there's been a lot less of summer practice and choreography and things, but they're still doing it in some limited way. So yeah, I think that's the kind of thing is really valuable for him.
Yeah. It's probably in an ordinary year it would be hugely insufficient, but given the fact there hasn't been anything, it's going to seem like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least a start. It's not
right.
It's not, and you know, I could argue that it's better to have it in a slightly smaller amount in terms of the activities and stuff that he's been involved in. It's having them in a streamlined way, which is actually kind of nice.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, it did involve, like, you know, he plays a spring sport, so he had to decide, did he want to do the musical, because it would most likely interfere with the sport.
Right.
But he chose the musical because he felt like it was more likely to actually happen.
Yeah.
Right.
And since he made that decision, the school district, or maybe it's the whole state, I don't even know, has decided to cancel all the fall sports and move them to the spring. So then that's going to change the spring sports.
Yeah.
So,
well, do the spring sports just lose out, or?
They said that they're going to kind of shorten the winter season and maybe delay the spring season a little bit to accommodate this rescheduled fall season.
So you just inconvenience everybody instead of just one group.
Right.
Which, you know, seems fair, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's going to be unhappy. You've maximized the number of unhappy people you can have.
Right.
So,
right.
Good luck, people who are making that decision.
Yeah.
You cannot win. The other day we were taking a walk around the high school, and I was surprised. We were going earlier than usual, and as we were walking, we saw kids running onto the tennis courts to start practicing, and then we heard the band practicing on the band field, and then as we came around the corner to the soccer field, there were a ton of kids on the soccer field. So it seemed like, well, I guess there are going to be sports. And then later that day, I heard that they were going to all remote until October. So I don't know if there are still going to be sports. If that was just, if somebody gave them the go ahead and then said, nah, maybe not. Or if they're just saying, hey, just in case we get to play, we better start doing something. So it looked like maybe for soccer it was tryouts because there was really a large number of kids. And I couldn't see how many band people there were or if they were 6 feet apart. But, I mean, if there's not going to be football games, I don't know what the band's going to do. But, you know, you can't just say in mid-September, okay, go ahead, have your band. You have to start practicing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens from my seat here. There seems to have been a lot of activity around the high school in terms of custodians taking things out of it, presumably to make more space for smaller classes. But I don't know, not my problem. Nicole, you have still a teenager at home, even though she's a college kid, right?
Well, and you had said that a lot of the decision around whether she would stay at home and go back to school was about her mental health.
That's right. I mean, obviously there are general health concerns, but yeah, it'll be challenging because, and I do worry, and I will have to work with her to find ways because, you know, a lot of her, she doesn't have that support system locally anymore because a lot of her friends are going back to college and moving in, even though most of them are doing online schooling, they are, you know, their dorms are still accessible. So, because for her, if she wanted to go out back to school and back into her dorm, there's a mandatory 14-day quarantine period. So that, and even that in itself was a huge roadblock to her going back to school because, I mean, 14 days in a hotel room without, that's a lot, you know, especially when you're a young adult. And, I think it requires some fortitude to be able to get through that. So yeah, I do worry and trying to come up with ways to ease that, burden. You know, we're definitely throwing a lot of money at redecorating a space for her to study. You know, there are promises of certain, you know, events, or not events, but kind of activities. So yeah, we're trying to help mitigate the impact of it because, you know, and then just, it's just the isolation, like, you know, people close to her have left and are on the other side of the country. And yeah, so it definitely, and then my son I worry about too, because he's fully online and, in a new community. And, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
You've got to be somebody that can, even then, I think you still need those kind of personal connections. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We're just very mindful that this can take a toll on their mental health. So
yeah,
we're trying to really be proactive about that, I think, in terms of being overly sensitive to how or what their environment is like, and trying to mitigate the effects of it.
That is item 4 on the list from the New York Times, is warmth and support at home. So
yeah,
I think we're all pretty
because
confident that we're doing that.
Yeah.
Friends aren't available. Time with other adults, well, they're not really available either. And a reliable routine, well, that's not necessarily the case. I mean, yeah, you're day in, day out, but like there's nothing really to look forward to down the road, because who knows how that's going to look, right?
Right.
So, yeah. So yes, we're definitely emphasizing the support at home and warmth.
That's why she got a kitten.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's why she got a kitten. Exactly. The kitten solves all. And well, that's it for today's round 4. Tune in tomorrow when we'll share our roundabout of things we've been using or enjoying lately that we think deserve a shout out. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.